All right, welcome to today's lesson. We're going to work on multiplying integers, which makes sense. We're just adding and subtracting. So let's do multiplying. Write down today's date and page number and then move on. All right, here's your warm-up. 8 simple multiplication problems. Don't let the zeros make you scared. Come back when you're done. All right, hopefully you got the same answers I did on these 8 problems and it wasn't too difficult for you. Now that your brain's working, let's get into today's lesson. All right, here's a little thing to talk about. You've seen that you can multiply whole numbers to count items in equally sized groups. There are 3 sets of twins in the 6th grade, so how many 6th graders are twins? Well, that's pretty simple. A set of twins you know is 2 people. And if there's 3 of them, that would mean there's 6 twins in 6th grade. So what we're going to learn today is how to multiply with negative integers. It's pretty similar to the same kind of multiplying you've used to do with one special rule. All right, let's talk about multiplying with that scenario of 3 times 2. If you look at this table I have here, you see the numbers I have is 3 times 2, which really was 3 groups of 2. If we did that in addition, that would be 2 plus 2 plus 2, but we don't do addition, we do 3 times 2. And that gives you 6. Now what if I said one of those was the opposite of, and that would be negative 3 times 2? Your answer becomes negative 6. Do you notice any pattern between the 3 times 2 and the negative 3 times 2 with your answer? You should notice they both are 6, but one is negative. Why is that? Take a second to think about it. Here's another couple problems. Here we have 3 times negative 2, so this time I made the negative part the group that's negative. Okay, now you see it's still negative 6. And then this one's really confusing. How come negative 3 times negative 2 gives you a positive 6? Well, this is the exact rule that we're going to be focusing on today in math, and this will help us to understand how to multiply numbers with negatives. Here's the first thing you need to write down in your notes, and this is the rules of multiplying integers. So, if the signs are the same, your product is always going to be positive. That's no different than anything you've done up to this point, and even in your warm-up. All of those had the same sign. They were all positive. The same goes for anything that's all negative, like negative 6 times negative 3. If it's the same signs, you make it positive. If the signs are different, you're going to have a negative result. So if the first factor is negative and the second factor is positive, it's the same as if the first factor was positive and the second factor was negative. You're going to have negative answers. So as I like to say, opposites are negative, the same likes are positive. And know that no matter what you do when you multiply 0, you always get 0. There is no such thing as negative 0 or positive 0, it's just 0. Have this down before moving on. Okay, let's get into some of our problems here, our examples. So let's look at the first one, which is just simply multiplying integers. I can't speak today. So look at letter A. You can see that both are positives. 5 and 2 are positive factors. So if you multiply those two together, you have 5 groups of 2, which gives you 10. So that is that. For B, we have 5 times negative 4. Now this is a situation where both signs are different. One's positive, one's negative. If that's the case, your answer is going to be 20, but a negative 20. That's how it works. If you need to write these down, go ahead. Otherwise, I think we can move on. All right, let's take a look at 2 more here. If you want to pause and try to do these on your own and then come back and see the answers, that's cool. It's up to you. I'll give you a second here. All right, for C, we have negative 3 times 2. You should know that 3 times 2 is 6. However, 1 is negative, 1 positive, so the answer has to be negative. For D, negative 2 times 4, that's the same as positive 2 times positive 4. You're going to get the same result, positive 8. Signs are the same. It's going to be positive. All right, here's some problems I want you to do on your own. There's 8 of them. Come back when you've gotten the answer. Remember, same signs are positive, opposite signs are negative. And don't let 0 trick you. All right, here's the right answers. You can see that all the ones that had the same signs, both positive or both negative, like 1 and 5 and 8 and even 7, they all had the same signs, so it's positive. 6 was a 0 answer. Hopefully that didn't trick you. 2, 3, and 4 had one positive, one negative, so your result is a negative value. All right, let's move on. So let's talk a little bit about what you can do with trying to solve for a variable. So here our expression says evaluate -7 times x. Now for the direction it says for each value of x, but we don't know. For A and B, you're given the specific numbers. So all you need to do is multiply using the information that you see. So for A, we just have to plug and chug. We're going to put -3 in for x. And when we substitute that, the one thing you should see is that -7 and -3 both are negative. So the signs are the same. Your answer is positive 21. For the second one, letter B, we're going to plug and chug 5 in. Now you have -7 times 5. You know that 7 times 5 is 35, but recognize that you see one negative, one positive. That would give you a value of -35. So make sure you're catching on to that. Write this down in your notes if you choose to. All right, let's take a look at two more. So here we're looking at -4y, which is the same as -4 times y, and let's plug and chug. So for A, we're going to plug in -2 for y, so it's -4 times -2. Both are negative, so it's going to be a positive answer of 8. For B, one's positive, one's negative, so our answer is going to be -28. So this is really how you should be showing your work. Writing the expression, plug and chug the number in for the variable, and then give the answer below it. The only other step I would do is circle the answer. Now, you got 8 problems to do on your own. You're evaluating 3n, so 3 times n. There's 8 different n's for you to work through. Good luck. And here are the 8 problems and their answers. So I plug and chugged all of them so you can see what n equaled, and then I wrote out the problem. And it's positive or negative, just simply depending on how many negative and positive symbols you have in each problem. All right, let's move on. Your box of thought today is one question. Take your time to write it well and give a good response, at least a sentence, and then you can move on. Here's your quiz, and the lesson is over. So you got 6 problems. Go ahead and do these in your notes. If you need to show your work, that'd be great. If you don't, I'd hope you remember sign rules. Same signs positive, opposite signs negative. Good luck. Okay, that's our lesson for today. Don't forget to come over and get your notes checked off and make sure that you get your score so you can see how well you did. We'll see you next time. We only have 2 more lessons after this, and then we're done with the chapter.